Welcome, Capricorns, to your February, March love readings. This is a reading that will probably cover the next 4 weeks, but whenever you're watching this, it's going to be relevant for you. Now, this is just a love reading, and if you are like a lot of Capricorns that I know and you're not into love, romance, or relationships, just check out your general reading, which I've also done on this channel for February too. Now, your overall energy of the month is quite beautiful. Now, you have the star as your overall energy. Now, you could be connected with an Aquarian because the star sign that represents, or the star that the star sign that is represented by the star, I'll get it out, is Aquarius. And they can be a very significant person in your life over the next 4 weeks, or you could potentially be meeting an Aquarian and be having some wonderful time with them. But an Aquarian, the star card is a very lovely card. It's a card of hope and it's a card of joy, and it really is quite some wonderful energy. So I'm feeling a lot of you could potentially be really getting involved in a relationship that does bring you a lot of that stuff, a lot of that joy, a lot of that happiness. If you are in an existing relationship, I feel that it's quite balanced and quite harmonious, and it's quite centered at the present moment anyway, and you don't have any anxiety about the future right now, so that's quite lovely. Now, if you are not in a relationship, I feel like it's a card of being blessed, and it brings a gift of pleasure with it when you have the star. So you could potentially be having some wonderful times dating if you are able to be out and about where you are, and just really having that lovely energy around you. Now, also, what the star talks about is if you have been having some challenging times, which you do have that card there, as you can see, the star card talks about healing from any difficult situations, or if you've been unwell, depressed, anything like that regarding your relationships. And this even talks about your relationship with yourself. You are really things are going to be changing for you over the next 4 weeks. Now, challenging times, this would normally be the 5 of Wands, and this is a card of conflict and challenges, and can be competition as well. And ego is another one of the key words that are associated with this card through the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. And it's sort of saying that often our ego can lead to problems when it kind of wants to build itself up at the expense of others. So if you've been struggling or having some disagreements, I'm feeling this could be happening over the next few weeks. It's like you're either instigating some disagreements, or you've certainly done that in the past, and or you are being pulled into disagreements and arguments by others that you're not really wanting to become involved in. So really challenging times, that card, it really asks you to step back and examine the real issues behind the conflict. You might find out that it's more than just being right. It's more about being right than it is about what is right. So you really need to look at how your part in any kind of challenging times that you may have. And as I say, this is relationships. If you're not in a loving relationship, this can be relationships with others that you are close with, close friends, but most importantly, the relationship to yourself as well. There's this things that are coming to the surface, and this is really clearly described in the confront card. Now, this traditionally is the card of the moon in a traditional deck. And what the confront card, a lot of the energy and the key words that are related to this card are fear, question, explore, courage, illusion, and clarity. And it's almost like you are really being asked to become quite introspective over the next 4 weeks. And there are things that are going to be coming up for you that have lain quite dormant, and now they're beginning to come to the surface. And this could be what is creating any of these challenging times that you may be having. And these things have been part of your past, part of your subconscious for a long time. And these are kind of referred to as your shadow self, and they represent all of your fears and any delusions regarding matters of the heart that you might have been carrying since you were quite young. I feel like they relate to a time in your life that when you were a lot younger than than you are now, when you were a child even, things that you've learned about relationships, things that you've, ideas that you've formulated in your mind because of things that you've seen. These are the kind of issues that are rising to the surface, and they're ready to be healed over the next 4 weeks. So really have courage, Cappies, and acknowledge and confront these new things that are coming up for you, and look at them from all sides and try to find out where they first came from. Really delve deep, and how were they planted in your subconscious? What was that thing that sparked the way you feel about relationships, or stuff like that? Question them, question your feelings. The moon card normally is that card of intuition and secrets, things that have been hidden. So this is really a time for you to look into all of this stuff, the things that these feelings that perhaps are based on your childhood imagination, things that happened to you when you were a kid that they're not appropriate now anymore. And even though they're persisting, this is what's preventing you from really achieving that wonderful relationship that you dream of. And this is, general reading, so this might not relate to you. Some of you might be in that energy of the star and just be having a wonderful, joyful relationship over the next 4 weeks if you are in one. But for a lot of you, or despite being in a relationship, these are some of the things that could be coming up for you over the next 4 weeks. So really have courage and explore your beliefs and misconceptions about love, and really find out what is limiting your experience, and things that you may have experienced as a child or saw as a child, they don't have that. It's not now. It's not now. So remember that. And know that when reality actually does when you get that spark of insight, and it will come because there is when the moon goes down and the sun comes up, you see things a lot clearer. So I really feel like you are going to be gaining clarity on a lot of stuff over the next 4 weeks and be able to heal a lot of stuff as well. Now, your final card is Daydreams and Decisions, and this is a lovely card. It's Seven of Cups, and it's a card of fantasies and imagination and options and choosing. And when this card appears, it often means that there's a certain amount of confusion and uncertainty regarding your love life. And that is certainly reflected in the moon. There is this kind of hidden thing that you don't quite understand, but really, what is it that you want? What is it that you desire? When the Seven of Cups, this is the Daydreams and Decisions card, is that Seven of Cups in a traditional deck. And it's where you are faced with so many options in front of you. And you really need to look at them. I feel like sometimes the Seven of Cups can be that card where you can't move forward because you have so much to decide. You could have potentially so many dates that you're going on, or a choice between different people that you could be entering into a relationship with, and you're just not able to make a decision. But really, you really need to sort of question what it is that you want from a relationship. What is that person that you are looking for? Who is that person you are looking for? If you have to, write a list. The way they look, their heart, their soul, their mind. Visualize that person in your mind. Fantasize about that person. And that really is going to help you to transform your desires into reality, because it's the law of attraction. What you think, you create, you become, all of that kind of stuff. And once you've sorted out your options and you've played around with all of the possibilities that you have in front of you, if you've got a choice between 2 people or even 3 people, imagine how you would be in a relationship with that person. See what the future would be like. Look forward. Look to the possibilities. And by doing that, I think it's going to give you some clarity, and it's going to allow you to really make a wise choice. And you're going to be able to distinguish the difference between fantasy and reality as well, So I feel like you'll really be feeling powerful once you've made some decisions. And this is also decisions about what direction you want to go in love, to decide to enter into a relationship or to start looking for love, to decide to manifest an existing relationship in exactly the way it is that you want, So I hope that resonated with you, Cappies, and I wasn't going on forever and ever. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you're not interested in love and you'd just like more of a general overview, check out your monthly reading as well. And I hope to catch you next month. Bye, Cappies.